and aged quarterbacks, but names we know all too well, and that is, of course, the Steelers, led by Aaron Diddly-Do Rodgers, going to be going toe-to-toe with the Cincinnati Bengals, led by none other than old Smoking Joe Flacco. What kind of a matchup can we expect? And do the Bengals shock the world? We know Thursday Night Football can be a little weird. I might put a couple dollary dues down on the Bengals. And then, guys, we're going to get right into Detroit Lions news. Lions safety Brian Branch loses appeal of one-game suspension. Will miss Week 7 after post-game fight. Now, that should come to no surprises to anybody. Even though I still say Brian Branch did nothing wrong, I think I was the first person to be like, hey. Yeah, he's still going to get suspended and get a fine. So we will just briefly skim over that news. And then what are the Lions doing? Lions are signing defensive back Jammie Robinson to the active roster. Robinson had a lot of buzz as a potential Lions draft prospect back in 2023. So he's a younger guy. He's been on a couple of teams, most recently with the Kansas City Chiefs on their practice squad. Kind of ironic, but we did need a little bit of depth. The Lions waived Lauren Strickland, and obviously we went and go ahead and signed Jammie Robinson to the active roster, adding a little bit of depth because we were already shorthanded. Now BB is going to be out Monday night against the Tampa, Bay, Buccaneers. And then, look, I just kind of felt like changing it up a little bit. All right, I just felt like changing it up a little bit today, guys. It's been a while. It's been a few years, really. That Lions fans aren't midseason looking at draft prospects. It almost feels alien to do so. By now, normally we are already kind of trying to figure out which top 15 pick we were going to have. And that's no longer the case. But full disclosure, I am wiped out today. I am absolutely cooked. So we're just going to kind of mail it in today a little bit. We're going to look ahead at Lions expected to do more of the same in the latest 2026 NFL mock draft. Why not? Why not take a look ahead at a prospect? And he kind of fits the mold of what we need, and exactly the mold of where Brad Holmes likes to go and pluck talent from. I do have then the individual's player profile pulled up from, I think, ESPN.com. We'll take a little look at who this individual is, and maybe just kind of feel the waters on what you guys are thinking about the individual and the possibility. I know this is a strange thought exercise to be having in the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes era here in the Motor City, and I just figured why not just give it a whirl, try it out. I do want to say shout out to Mad Hatter Nation. Good morning, everybody. Brent DeWitt, Ryan Allen, hi diddly ho. Hi diddly ho, neighbor, to you as well. Detroit Sports Talk, I have no respect for the chefs. Neither do we. Detroit Sports Talk. Jack2125 is here. Appreciate all you guys tuning in this morning. We do have a poll up in the chat. Outcome of tonight on TNF. Rodgers rolls with 29% of the vote. Probably the smart pick, but 71% of us are going, let's go, Smoking Joe. I myself am going to be rooting for the Bengals. Probably not even going to really watch the game, if I'm being completely honest. I have no interest in watching a slop fest NFC or AFC North teams on Thursday Night Football. I have infinitely better things to do, up to and including watching paint dry and watching grass grow. So now that that's all out of the way, guys, could you like the video, share this around with all your friends? We are growing. We've hit 757. Damn, boys. You guys have really turned it on recently, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Why don't you subscribe to the channel if you're new and ring that notification bell. It helps the channel grow. Guys, now that all the things are out of the way, you've poked all my buttons and rang all my bells. Let's get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, what do we got going on over here? Okay, yeah, shout out Detroit Sports Talk. My guy. My guy, when did this happen? Oh, we signed with the practice squad yesterday. What the fuck, dude? Detroit sports talk, brother. I am with you on this. I love the Kendall Fuller signing too. It's underrated signing that I think people are going to be surprised about. It's so underrated. Good morning, Brandy Coffee. How you doing, sister? Good to see you. It is so underrated that it wasn't even on the new. I literally had to look up Kendall Fuller. Bro, I think this is a wickedly sneaky good signing. Are you shitting me, dude? Kendall Fuller still's got it in the tank, dude. He's still got plenty left in the tank. Oh, dude, yeah, this is a great signing. This is a great signing. Why is this not being on what? Why is there no more news about? Why is there such little? What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing that we should not be more hype about Kendall Fuller being signed? What am I missing? Dude, we should be doing backflips. This should be top of the news for Detroit Lions. It should go Brian Branch suspension upheld, Lions sign Kendall Fuller. What the hell, man? Oh, dude, what the like check it out, boys. I literally search every morning. I search NFL news and I search Detroit Lions news, and this did not come up in the top at all. At all. It was nowhere to be found. Shout out Detroit Sports Talk. Bro, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. That single-handedly changed my mood this morning. Like, legit. Like, that put a little bit of pep in my step. Let's fucking go. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, yes. Kendall Fuller signing is huge. It is huge. It is unbelievably huge. This is grossly underrated and underreported. Oh, my God. I'm doing backflips, you guys. Oh, my God. Why are we not more hype about this? Let's fucking go. Smart. This was a smart move, Brad Holmes. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I can't. I'm going to be so happy mowing the lawn later today, guys. I'm just going to keep thinking about Kendall Fuller. Dude, I'd have gone Kendall Fuller over Trey Flowers a couple weeks ago. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Sign me up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, boys. Oh, okay. All right. Now that I've got a little too, I think I got a little too excited about that, guys. But I think we're really underselling how important this signing is. Legit, I expect Lions to be so upset about treatment that they sweep the rest of the season after the bye week. Players back healthy and mad. Yeah, Jack, I think you're right, dude. There's a switch that gets flipped when we get done dirty and wrong. Dude, like, there's a switch that gets flipped and Dan Campbell goes into, like, Judge Dredd mode. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, all right, then. Oh, well, okay, then. Okay, all right. We're going to go ahead and punch back even harder now. You know what I'm saying? And it almost, for me, it almost kind of sucks because, like, I like Baker Mayfield. I can't help it. I like Baker Mayfield. Whatever. He's a fun quarterback to watch play. He seems like a fun guy. Oh, poor Baker Mayfield. Oh, poor Baker Mayfield. Why'd we got to do it before the Baker Mayfield game, dude? Roger Goodell don't like me, man. That's what it is. Roger Goodell don't like me, and he wants to make me suffer, dude. Not only did he want to give us that crucial just embarrassment of a loss on Sunday, but he did it in a fashion that now he knows the Lions are going to go out there and just absolutely rip Baker Mayfield's head off. Oh, damn. Poor Baker Mayfield. That sucks. Poor guy. Good morning, Jody. How you doing, sister? Good to see you in the chat, everybody. We got a full roster of Mad Hatter Nation here, guys, and we're just about to kick this off. Thursday night football, Steelers versus Bengals. 3 must-know storylines for Thursday's Week 7 primetime game. All right, we do know that it's they're playfully calling it the Icy Hot Bowl. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco will meet for only the 4th time in an NFL game since 1950 to pit 2 starting quarterbacks over the age of 40. The previous 3 times were between Tom Brady and Drew Brees back in 2020. Oh, that's silly. Winners of 3 straight, the Steelers have taken control of the AFC North the past 3 weeks, while the rest of the division has gone into the tank. The Bengals have lost 4 straight, although they showed some life late in the loss to the Lions in Week 5 and the Packers in Week 6. Flacco, who last week became the first QB to be traded within the division in season since at least 1995, gave them more juice in the passing game this past Sunday. Then they've had this since Joe Burrow got hurt. Can Pittsburgh stay icy hot with 4 straight wins, or can old smoking Joe Flacco spur an upset over the Steelers? Now, this is what I hate. This is what I can't stand. I don't like the Bengals, but I like Joe Flacco. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I like Mike Tomlin, but I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. So I guess I'm rooting for the meteor. What's up, Mom? Hi, Brandy. Hi, Jody. What's up, Dad? I'd call it the geriatric bowl. Yeah, dude, I think that they need to move kickoff up because I'm pretty sure that Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers have like a 9:30 bedtime. Because I know that at least at this point in his career. Now, Joe Flacco has had a little bit of time away, right? Like, he didn't come back into the league until like midseason a couple of years ago. But I'm pretty sure that once the sun goes down, Aaron Rodgers is going to start showing signs of sundowning. So they need to probably move the game up a little bit and get that kickoff underway, or move it out to the West Coast where there'll still be sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Because once that sun goes down, Aaron Rodgers... you know that episode of South Park where they're talking about concussions, and they're like, it looks like he's attempting to make a loaf of bread on the field. That's what we're going to see, a couple of bonehead plays. So just expect Aaron Rodgers to make some bad decisions while he's slipping into senility on the field. So 3 must-know storylines. Rodgers is taking a quicker, shorter approach. That's what I told Hat and Boobs the other day. I was like, oh, baby, I'm going to be taking a quicker, shorter approach with you. Let's go. Aaron Rodgers is averaging only 204 pass yards per game, which would be a career low for a full season as the starter. But Rodgers has played more efficiently than he did last season for the Jets. Well, there's your problem right there for the Jets. There's the problem. In 2024, he took 40 sacks and had 13 turnovers in 17 starts. But Rodgers has taken only 9 sacks and has 3 turnovers through 5 games. He's mostly throwing quick and short. Yeah, that sounds like me, quick and short. 29% of the time of the Steelers' passes are behind the line of scrimmage, but it's working with 71.8 of their pass yards coming after the catch. DK Metcalf is the clear go-to option, scoring a tuggeroo in 4 straight games. But it's a balanced attack with Rodgers distributing the ball to his backs, Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. Tight ends, Jonnu Smith. Wow, really? Jonnu Smith's getting targets in an Arthur Smith offense? Imagine that. I never, ever, 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 ever would have expected Jonnu Smith to get any targets in an Arthur Smith ran offense. Pratt Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. I actually like Darnell Washington. Receivers Metcalf and Calvin Austin III. What they lack in a true deep threat, they make up for in yak receivers. That should work well against the Bengals defense that has allowed the most yards after catch in the NFL with 999. And the most yards after catch per reception with 7.2 in 2025. They also could be without defensive end Trey Hendrickson because he's got a dancing hip who left Sunday's game and remains in doubt for this one. I wouldn't want to play if I was him either. What's going on, chat? How you doing? Welcome, Steve, Doctor of Football Thungonomics? Word life? Brandy, I do not understand that. I think I'm too stupid. Drive by morning, been super busy lately. What's up, Trace? Good to see you. Appreciate you swinging by. Appreciate it. That's what's up. Bucks Lions looking like a mash bowl. They're banged up as we. They are. That Brent, that's something we'll talk about. So, guys, we will be doing double dips on Monday and Monday night. Yeah, I took a brief little look at the Tampa injury report, and Steve literally is someone in the life, or in the chat. Gotcha. My bad, dude. I didn't even see that you. Oh, hang on, brother. My bad, dude. Hey guys, I am so sorry if I missed some of your chats. I forgot to switch it to live chat. It was just top chats. I am so sorry, my guy. My bad, dude. I'm sorry if I missed any of your guys' chat. So, Steve, Doctor of Football Thugonomics. Dude, I have a 6th grade reading level. I am dumb as shit. I read that as thermodynamics, and then I was just like, thumponomics? God, dude, I am so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Thugonomics. Duh. We use toothpaste, friends. Colgate University. Oh, no shit. Y'all went to Colgate? Damn, that's dope. Tracy's your college friend. All right, cool. Yeah, dude, we like Tracy here, dude. That's his name. I don't understand it either. Gotcha. See, Brandy, I was confused too. And like for real, I was reading Thugonomics. I'm so fucking stupid. Why do you guys watch me? You know what? That commenter on Monday was right. I am the dumbest channel on YouTube. Legit. I am barely fucking literate. Good thing I learned how to spell phonetically, guys, because hook it on phonics, so work it for me. Let's go. Second thing we need to watch out for. Damn, dude. I'm not gonna lie, Thugonomics. I'm like, damn, I'm dumb. Damn, dude. I am one illiterate bastard. Best Lions YouTuber, in my opinion. Dude, Detroit Sports Talk. Thanks, brother. Dude, thank you, dude. That's nice, dude. That was very nice of you to say, man. I'm just a little fish in a big old pond, dude. I'm just a little fish. It's a joke about college. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. See, I didn't go to college. I didn't go to the college. I'm not a college man. I'm barely lettered. Sometimes I just have to leave my mark. You know what I'm saying? Number 2 to watch, Flacco adjusted quickly in his first start. Oh, it's all about the old guys being quick. They got a little blue chew action going on behind the scenes in NFL stadiums. Is that what's going on with these old 40-plus-year-old quarterbacks? Getting them a little hyped up on some blue chew. Is old Bill Belichick in the background, old Billy Blue Chew, dealing his blue chews out. Starting a game for the Bengals less than 5 days after being traded from the Brown Eyes, Smoking Joe Flacco predictably struggled in the Bengals' first 4 offensive series. But after halftime, he completed 21 of 30 passes for 179 yards and a 4th and goal touchdown pass to scare the daylights out of the Packers in Green Bay. Are y'all noticing these? Yo, what is everybody just running a shell cover 2 or a man with a 2 shell deep defense? Because I swear you guys, that back in the day, if you had guys throwing 21 to 30 passes, they were hitting 280 to 300 yards. Dude, I remember back in like the mid-aughts, like kind of the aught teens around there, guys were regularly throwing for 300 yards in a game. What is with these 21 to 30 passes for 179 yards? Has Dan Campbell embraced tradition and rejected modernity so hard that the NFL is trying to get out ahead of his old school way of playing football, tough-nosed defense, gritty style, run the ball, that literally the rest of the NFL is like, oh, we're going to beat you to the punch, dude. We're going to go back and stop throwing the ball vertically. We're only going to throw the ball horizontally. Before you know it, a team's going to roll out there. They're going to have leather helmets rolling with the wing T offense, the rate we're going, guys. T. Higgins had the best game of the season. Jamar Chase came alive, catching a 4th quarter touchdown. The whole operation moved as smoothly as it has, even with 3. I always screw up Andre. I know it's not Iosovas. Oh, fuck. I cannot remember how to pronounce this guy's name. Since before Burrow was injured, with Joey Porter Jr. back in the lineup, the Steelers should have their full cast of cornerbacks to defend the Bengals' talented wideouts. Porter, Darius Slay, and Jalen Ramsey should see plenty of Chase and Higgins, who figure to once again be the main targets, with Mike Gesicki on IR and Tanner Hudson out with It's not Iosovas, not inspiring trust. I know it's not Iosovas. I just cannot remember how to pronounce that son of a bitch's name. Well, it is what it is. We'll hear it a million times tonight. Finally, the Steelers' defense making progress with pass rush. You better be getting a pass rush when you have a very expensive and Hall of Fame caliber talent in T.J. Watt. Steelers' defense started the season slowly, but has rounded into form the past 3 games. The Steelers have 20 sacks in 2025, including 6 in Week 6. The Bengals have allowed 16 sacks in 2025, but with Flacco in the lineup last week, they gave up a season-low 1 sack to the Packers because Joe Flacco is so mobile. I reminisce about the days when I remember Joe Flacco constantly rushing. The only reason the Ravens drafted Lamar Jackson is because he just reminded them of Joe Flacco so much. Even Flacco under center, Cincinnati's pass protection figures to be a big worry. The Bengals have given up most of their pressures from the edges, with tackles Orlando Brown and Amarius Mims, the most guilty parties. Brown allowed the Bengals' only sack last week on a quick pressure in the red zone. But Mims has played better the past 2 games after a tough outing versus Denver. Everybody's having a tough outing versus Denver. They seem to be pretty aggressive on defense. I'll give the Denver Broncos that. They have a pretty hot defense, dude. Nick Bonito. Oh, Nick Bonito. Kind of a scary man. The Bengals haven't run the ball more than 85 yards in a game this season. So this would be an ideal spot for Chase Brown and the run game to help balance things out a bit. Do we got any ideas on some parlays you guys might want to? I'm not going to build any on show. I'm just interested. I'm not really interested in this game. I'm just curious if you guys have any input on this game. Any lines you're watching for the parlays? Going to take a look over at the chat. Are those bullets on your shirt? Yes, sir, they are. It goes up in size from 22 long rifle all the way up to 50 cal, and it's just the various size. So we got 22, 9 mil, 38 special, 223, 308 win, and then the 50 cal over here. So size matters. And it's bullets. You can find these shirts on, you can find them on Amazon. They have much more of a selection of the graphic tees. I really like the way these gruntwear style shirts fit. I kind of have a bit of an interesting body shape where I'm really chesty. I got a big barrel chest and I'm big through the shoulders. So I need like a 2X style up in the shoulders, but a 1X down through the waist, but I need length as well because I'm 6'3", 6'4". You know what I'm saying? But you can find these on Amazon, various graphic designs as well as plain ones. I got some just plain work style ones that still they have the patches, but they're not colored in. They're the color of the shirt. You can also find these at Sportsman's Warehouse, Dunham's, but it's gruntwear style. I think they're a little bit more flattering. I also have a nice overshirt of theirs that I wear, and it's nice enough that I can wear it to church. If you guys are a little bit of a bit of a gym rat and you get like to have a little bit of a pump. Admittedly, they are a little bit more flattering to guys that work out a little bit, and they do kind of make the glamour muscles pop a little bit more, so it's a little bit more flattering. But yeah, it's gruntwear style, dude. It's really comfortable. Of course, league denied BB. Derek, yep, and that's actually, Derek, that is our very next story, dude. That is our very next story. Derek Harp, shout out Derek Harp, you guys. Yo, my guy's over on the West Coast, dude. Shit. My guy eats pancakes during football on Sunday mornings, bro, and he tunes into the Hat and Beard Show. My guy is here all the time, dude. So shout out Derek Harp, West Coast warrior, in it up. Jody Curler says 6'4". Well, I mean, it's ish. I mean, it's from my standpoint, my viewpoint. It's normal. This is where I've lived my life the whole time, so it's just normal for me. I'm not that tall. You know, there's a lot of guys taller than me. Actually, so like growing up, I hung out with a bunch of guys from other schools in the area, and one of them was if you guys followed Michigan State basketball back in the early aughts, they had a center that played for him. He was from the Lansing area. His name was Goran Sutan. Okay, now Goran Sutan was like 6'10". Okay, like 6'10", and you know, at the time, I was like, all right, I'm kind of tall. You know what I mean? Like, I was taller than most people. And we were at a house party, this girl Chelsea's house, partying it up, dude. And, like, I remember, like, turning around and, like, staring at this dude's, like, midsection. And, I was boys with Chelsea, so I was just like, hey, man, quit standing on her mom's furniture, dude. That's rude, yo. And Goran, who's very Eastern European, like this gigantic human being, like craned his neck like down very comically, like got down like down to my level and was like, what? And I looked down and I seen his feet were on the ground and I looked up and I was like, holy shit, you are the tallest motherfucker I have ever seen in my life. And he's like, yup. And then just walked away, dude. I was like, oh my God. Now that was a tall motherfucker. That was a tall guy. Here in you're down in Zephyr Hills, Florida. 74, cutting the grass, listening to the show. Oh, brother, it is 47 degrees here, in which I'm going to go out and mulch leaves here pretty soon. So I will be cutting grass, just I'll be wearing a sweatshirt and jeans, you know what I'm saying? But you enjoy that warm weather, brother. That is awesome, dude. That is absolutely awesome, Sam. Yeah, you guys, you Florida boys, really make Florida, sounds like the place to be. You're not betting on tonight's game. Hate AR too, but I think he's going to carve up the Cincy secondary. Brent, I completely agree with you, dude. It's why I might just throw like $5 or $10 on Cincinnati to win. You know, just because I don't know. Again, you guys know me. We emphasize bankroll management here. If you're going to gamble, gamble smartly. Is this really a game that I want to sacrifice some bankroll on? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I could cultivate and build a good bankroll, but dude, I could give a shit less about building parlays. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not like champing at the bit to build a parlay around this game. And to be completely honest, me and Hat and Boobs are meeting my mom for dinner at 6:00 for sushi tonight. So that's really all I give a fuck about. I haven't had sushi in a while. And we're going to the good place, the one on the west side by Bigby. I can't remember what it's called, but we're going there. It's the good one. All right, guys. So Lions safety Brian Branch loses appeal for his 1-game suspension. We'll miss week 7 after post-game fight. We're not going to dive into it too hard today. We're just kind of skimming over things, guys. Here we go. Lions safety Brian Branch appeals his 1-game suspension for fighting after the team lost to the Chefs. Has been heard and upheld upon appeal. Big surprise! Color me shocked. Oh! Meaning Branch will officially miss his team's Week 7 game against the Tampa, Bay, Buccaneers and forfeit his game check. Per the NFL, Branch's appeal was heard by Jordy Nelson, a longtime receiver who now works as an appeals officer for the league. I think I would have preferred Derek Brooks. Okay. I don't like the fact that you're having a wide receiver. Now, I don't know enough about Jordy Nelson. He could be a very fair individual. I don't know diddly-do about Aaron Rodgers' former best friend, okay? But what I do know about Jordy Nelson is that he played the majority of his career in Green Bay. And I don't know if anybody else knows this. There is a no-love loss between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, especially recently, especially with Brian Branch, of all people. He's been ejected from games in Lambeau for his actions. Furthermore, Jordy Nelson was a wide receiver. So the position that Brian Branch had his issue with is the position that's hearing his argument, as well as a longtime player for a bitter rival of a player on the team that you are listening to. So I don't necessarily know how unbiased you can really be. I would have preferred someone like a Derek Brooks, a defensive player, someone who isn't known for playing in our division outside of early on back in the NFC Central. You know what I'm saying? I do think that there might have been a little biasy going into this, though the reality is, guys, he was never going to win it. It was never going to happen. The NFL is the NFL. The reason for the way the NFL is, they are suit and tie when it comes to certain things. Okay. Now, if we're going to maintain this level of standard, the standard has to be the standard. I'm tired of saying that both in my personal life and in YouTube, or in my professional life and on YouTube. But if you're going to penalize Brian Branch for his actions taken like this, and this is going to be a big hot button issue, there better never be a conversation about Henry Ruggs coming back to the NFL ever again. Ever the fuck again. Branch initiated the fight. We know this. I did a childish thing. Yeah. I'm tired of people bullying me between the lines, stuff in between plays. The refs don't catch it. They be trying to bully me out there. I shouldn't have did it. It was childish. Branch's suspension marks the latest disciplinary action taken towards him by the NFL. Branch has already been fined 14 times in his NFL career, including 4 times this season. Prior to Sunday night, Branch had been fined a combined $34,000 for 1 unsportsmanlike conduct infraction, and 2 unnecessary roughness penalties. Branches, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he leaves us shorthanded in the secondary. Carrie, am I seeing this? It's your birthday? Carrie. Say happy birthday. I'm the real Libra, the middle of the month, and I'm the real scale. Carrie Simtech, my dude. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a very good day, man. Don't do anything crazy, but, go ahead and have a drink. Put it on my tab, dude. Happy birthday, Carrie. Seriously, from all of us here at Mad Hatter Nation, dude. Happy birthday, dude. You are a longtime viewer, and I love the fact that you're here every single day. I can give a little bit of love back to you. Happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday, man. I hope you have a wonderful day for your birthday, dude. Seriously, that's awesome. They'll never take decisions back. 100%. Sam, you're 100%. I would. You want me to sing for you? Happy birthday, Carrie Simtech. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Do you like that? Did I earn your respect now, fellas? So, guys, what are we going to do with Brian Branch being out? The Lions are signing DB Jammie Robinson to the active roster. Who's Jammie Robinson? What is Jammie Robinson? Earlier this week, what is this here? My late supplier messed up some bifold doors, had to bust ass. It's all good, Mr. Detroit City. Good to see you here, brother. We're just celebrating Carrie Simtich's 64th birthday. Reading some news, dude, and that sucks. Don't you hate it? When the supplier fucks up and screws everything up and leaves you holding the bag. But luckily, dude, you put your nuts on the table and you got the job done, didn't you? That's what we like to do. And that's why the mute button was invented. Hell yeah, Jack, because that was absolutely terrible. I felt like a giant piece of shit doing it, but you know what? It is what it is, and I'm a dancing monkey here to dance for you. Dance, monkey, dance. You know what I'm saying? Earlier in the week, the Lions waived safety Lawrence Strickland. Didn't Strickland have some legal issues last year, guys? Didn't he have some issues? I want to say some type of like domestic situations, something or another that led him. Because I was kind of high on him. Am I misremembering Lawrence Strickland? Let's take a look here. Lawrence Strickland. Lawrence Strickland legal? Can refer down to Lawrence Strickland test the fact this is an account. The lawyer Lawrence Strickland works in a professional football player. He signed the team on draft free agent. For some reason, here we go, last year. Here we go. Roster spot. Predominantly. Lions defender created roster Packers and ruled out. I thought that there was an issue with him last year, that some off the field stuff that was why he got cut. Maybe I'm misremembering it. Tell me about this. The weather's golden down there, you guys. Oh, I'm thinking of Brandon Joseph. Yeah, Brent. That's who I'm thinking of, dude. Yep. You're right. Yep, you're right, dude. That's exactly who I'm thinking of. You're right, dude. Yep. Boom. Bingo, bango, bongo. That's who I'm thinking of, is Brandon Joseph. Yep, that's exactly it. All right. The Lions didn't immediately add a replacement to the active roster. The addition took a couple of days, but the Lions are filling the open spot on the 53-man roster by signing defensive back Jammie Robinson. The pending signing was the first reported by Jeremy Fowler. Good for him. Robinson was a fifth-round pick by Carolina in 2023 draft. He played collegiately at Florida State. He also played, I think, at South Carolina. Robinson played 21 total games over 2 seasons in Carolina, though just 75 defensive reps in those games. He was waived late in 24 and claimed by Arizona. But he did not make Arizona's 53-man roster in the summer's preseason. Robinson was signed off the Chiefs practice squad, where he spent the first 6 weeks of the 2025 year. Looking back to when Robinson was a draft prospect, I profiled him early in his NFL scouting combine interview. He confirmed he met with the Lions and also at the Senior Bowl that year. Being undersized and not terribly fast, his 4.59 40-yard dash at the combine checked on his FSU tape has been a hindrance to getting on the field thus far. In Detroit, with the top three safeties all likely out for Monday's matchup against the Tampa, Bay, Buccaneers, Brian Branch suspended, while Avonte Maddox and Kirby Joseph are both dealing with injuries, the head coach Dan Campbell did not seem optimistic about for Week 7. So not looking good. Luckily, we do have the extra day before. No. Damn, Mr. Detroit City, you stopped me dead in my tracks with that one. Someone give Tracy Walker a call. Bro, you... Oh, why don't we go get Quandre Diggs while we're at it, guys? Yeah, let's go get Quandre Diggs. Bro, you stopped me dead in my tracks with the Tracy Walker. Woo! Ah. Damn. Good morning, Riley. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. Age is all in your mind. Carrie, you are correct, dude. That is something that I have been trying to practice more of. I used to grumble and groan that I was, 30-something going on 80, and now I just try and kick that out of the mindset because strong youthful mind leads to a strong, youthful body, and it's how we maintain a level of freshness, flexibility, and mobility as we gracefully stare down the barrel of 40 years old over here. But it is what it is. I can't wait to get a little gray in the beard, start doing pulling off the silver fox thing. You know what I'm saying? Who am I kidding? I got red hair. It's going to turn white, and I'm going to look like fucking Santa Claus. Guys, today's been a wild show. Deshaun Elliott is doing well in Pitt. Yeah, I thought he was hurt, though. Brandy, okay, then I'm 21. Mr. Detroit City, I actually liked Deshaun Elliott when he played here in Detroit. I thought he was kind of underrated. I thought he was a nice little piece. Knowing what the plan was ultimately, I guess, with Kirby Joseph, we didn't know that it would work out, but with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, Deshaun Elliott might have led to us not having one of those two guys in house. So ultimately, it worked out better for me because I love Kirby Joseph. I think he's the best safety in the game, and I love Brian Branch. I think he's the second best safety in the game. I like the way those guys go about business. But yeah, I was a big fan of Deshaun Elliott, dude. Age is a number, and jail is a place. I tell them, hell yeah. Elliott was solid for us. He was solid. He was on an uptick on his career. So we weren't getting a guy who had already plateaued and then started dipping off. He was on a bit of an uptick, which is why we've seen Pittsburgh re-sign him this year. We're going to do something a little bit different today, guys. We're going to test out some feelings here because why not? Admittedly, I'm kind of tired of talking about Brian Branch. I don't want to just keep beating that dead horse. Yes, it has led to a tremendous amount of growth for me here at the channel. I thank all of you who liked and agreed with me. I appreciate all the newcomers that have subscribed to the channel because of my take on Brian Branch. I really do appreciate that. But I'm not just going to keep milking that for the sake of milking it, and I would like to kind of move on. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole hell of a lot of news to talk about because, for whatever reason, the media decided to not hype up the Kendall Fuller signing, which blows my fucking mind. That is a huge signing. I think he's going to be a massively important asset for the Detroit Lions push to the Super Bowl. But we're going to go ahead and shift gears and do something that we don't historically do during the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes era, at least in the past 3 years here. We're going to go ahead and take a mid-season look at a little bit of mock draft action and something that the Lions, or we could start to do some thought exercises on because we're going to have the conversation about it a lot. What do the Lions do in the draft? Obviously, first and foremost, we're going to be looking at 3 positions that the Lions need to be addressing, at least in my opinion. 3 position groups. I don't necessarily want to say positions, but we're going to need another defensive end opposite Aiden Hutchinson that can be on a rookie scale contract for a long time. Okay, that's something that will benefit us. I'm tired of doing the piecemeal defensive end opposite Aiden Hutchinson. As much as I like Al-Qadim Muhammad, as much as I want to root for Ahmed Hassanin, as much as I want to back the coaches and say you are right about Marcus Poop Davenport, it just isn't really in the cards for us. So we would like to have a nice complementary piece opposite Aiden Hutchinson for the foreseeable future. We need to address offensive line issues, okay? I need to have some type of heir apparent to Taylor Decker or some type of center that can come in and play immediately, because as much as we can talk up and overhype Graham Glasgow, he's still a glass cow, and he's not the long-term solution for the Detroit Lions. We need to continue on with the youth movement along our front five, following suit with the development of Penei Sewell, Tate Ratledge, and Christian Mahogany. Hank Fraley seems to be very good at developing young players, so whatever that position is, I would like to address it. The third and final position I think that we need to consider is getting in yet another cornerback that's young. Obviously, Enos the Penis Rakestraw isn't working out for us. Terrion Arnold, I don't want to hang the bus tag on him yet, but until he is able to keep his dirty little dick beaters off wide receivers and not play such grab ass with them on the back end, getting flagged all the time, you are a liability. I love your run game. I love the way you can get up and stick your nose in the pile and tackle guys, but I need you to be Terrion Arnold post-bye week your rookie year, not Terrion Arnold pre-bye week your rookie year, pre-injury your sophomore season. I need you to turn it around. That way I don't need to be scouting secondary players in rounds 2 and 3. I can hang my hat on Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson, and DJ Reed to hold down the fort. But until Terrion Arnold can prove otherwise, I think we need to keep a watchful eye on the talent coming up in the draft process at cornerback, because Rakestraw's not working out. Robertson's not getting any younger. That's the reality of it. But up here at Sideline Report, we do have a prospect, and I think he fits the mold of everything we look for in the defensive end opposite Aiden Hutchinson, coming in at like 6'6", 6'7", I think, plus 270 pounds, I think, right now, and coming from a SEC school that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes love to pluck from. That is Alabama. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Lions expected to do more of the same in the latest 2026 mock draft. The Detroit Lions have been playing it a bit safe in recent drafts, especially since exhausting the pot they received in exchange for shipping out goofy white-teeth Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams back in 21. In 2025, they opted for Tyleek the Freak Williams, Tater Ratledge, and Isaac Tesla. With their first 3 picks, shoring up their trenches first and foremost while adding a toss-up wide receiving option to their offense with Tesla trade up. So far, those have shown to be really valuable rookies addition to the squad. Looking ahead to 26, a likely first-round floating in the 20 to 32 range, Detroit is predicted to once again play things a bit safe with their impending selection. Assuming the team keeps their first-round pick, ESPN Jordan Reed's project the Lions will continue to add to their defensive trenches by selecting Alabama defensive tackle L.T. Overton, 20th overall. And I think what you'd see is him roll out to the defensive end spot. We like that big bookend for Aiden Hutchinson to collapse the pocket down into. Shout out, yep, Aleem the Dream is playing, and I can't wait to see him. Detroit Sports Talk. Can't wait to see Aleem playing tomorrow, dude, and or on Monday, and it's going to be absolutely epic. Yeah, we actually talked about Aleem playing yesterday. The news came out. Let's talk about Jack Fox tackling. His break and chase down last week was sweet. Pull up the tape. Yeah, Jack Fox is a good tackler, dude. He's a good tackler. But yeah, we talked about Aleem being back. Should be full go by all accounts. Pretty much full go. Lions expected to do predictable things in the 26th draft. Reed writes the Detroits have been comfortable taking best fit over best available in their last few drafts, and Overton certainly fits that bill. Lions GM Brad Holmes isn't afraid to go against the grain and take players who best fit the team's profile, even if it means reaching. Overton could help a Detroit defensive line that needs reinforcement opposite star edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson, as its 27.4% pass rush win rate as a team ranks 31st in the NFL. Overton is a scheme-versatile defender who wins with overwhelming power at the point of attack and could pair nicely with Tyleek Williams, Detroit's first-round pick in 2025, on the inside. The pass rush does remain an issue for Detroit, although it hasn't been as horrendous as fans might have thought it'd be, with Aiden Hutchinson getting no help from the front office this offseason to add to that room. Al-Qadim Muhammad has been a nice revelation for the team in the respect, but they could use some pass rushing help. Overton, a senior, has picked up 10 solo tackles and 3 sacks in 6 games this season for the Crimson Tide. He could be the answer the Lions are still looking for out of Williams, which is to say some pass rush help up the middle. There's plenty of pop in the 26 class defensively, which is exactly what Detroit should be looking for, given the number of injuries the team has been managing this season. So he's a defensive tackle. I thought he was a defensive end, guys. Let's take a look over here. You see why. 6'5", 278. Personally, I think that's a little undersized for a defensive tackle. I like him to be north of 285, pushing 300. So what you see is, I'm guessing, a very athletic defensive tackle, probably with the versatility to roll out to the edge. You know what I'm saying? Liam the Dream McNeil is playing. Hope they listen to you, Carey. You're right about that, Mr. City. Yep, he is playing. Dan Campbell said we should be getting a lot of players back soon, like Davenport, TA, DJ Reed, etc. Yeah, dude. So Reed, I expect Reed to be able to be back after the bye week. Davenport, not too concerned about that. DJ Reed, very hype about that. I think he was really starting to come on right before the injury. He was starting to have kind of a breakout game, and then his hamstring fell apart. And then let us not forget, I know TA's coming back, but let us not forget the versatility that having Malcolm Rodriguez back on the field brings. It allows Derek Barnes to maybe line up in a more blitz package. We have seen a little bit of flash out of Derek Barnes. But Malcolm Rodriguez is also should be coming back soon. Secondary is going to go crazy when we get TA and DJ Reed back. I hope so, man. What I am hoping for is third verse, same as the first. I'm really hoping that TA, there's something about him that he's very good at adjusting with a few weeks off or some time off. We've seen it last week in his rookie campaign. He was grabby, he was PIs, he was defensive holding, and then the bye week hit, and you didn't really see a whole lot of flags out of him. The coverage was pretty solid, too. I'd say he was really coming on in the back half of his first year. And we were really hoping that the trajectory would maintain the first half of his sophomore season. Unfortunately, that hasn't necessarily been the trend. But hopefully, what we can see is history repeating itself. Even though history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, right? So instead of the bye week, we're just going to have an injury plus the bye week. Maybe this is what TA needs to figure out what he's doing, calm down, slow the game down a little bit. Plus, having Reed back will take a little bit of pressure off of him. Once we start getting healthy again, the defense should be very, very scary because the rust should be off. Guys should start elevating themselves, knowing their role, knowing how to play. Jack Campbell's been taking big steps forward. Hutchinson has still been pretty dominant. I know it's not as flashy as we'd all want, but this isn't Madden. This is real life. But Hutchinson has been dominant. And bringing back better secondary players elevates our front four, and having better front four players elevates our secondary players. It's a symbiont circle, and one hand washes the other. I do expect, though, once our defense gets healthy, to be a lot better than we have been the past couple of weeks. Yeah, Miles Frazier, actually, when I was talking about the offensive line situation, I was like, well, Miles Frazier is still there, and he is a pretty versatile offensive lineman. So, maybe, but we haven't seen any Miles Frazier, so I can't hang my hat or put any juice behind him right now because I haven't seen anything out of him. You know what I'm saying? Hamid Hassanin father said this morning that he's 3 weeks away. Also, more depth on the way. I hope Hassanin comes back. Brent, I liked Hassanin. More mahogany to center. Reportedly, he can play offensive tackle as well. I know Frazier can play offensive tackle. The thing is, I don't think he's been I think he's like on the PUP list, more or less. I don't think he's been available at all. Shout out Brent DeWitt. Hassanin's dad said he's 3 weeks away, which is dope. I really want to see Ahmed Hassanin become the fullback for the Detroit Lions. I think that'd be absolutely awesome. We like the hammer. We like Ahmed the Hammer over here. A little bit of depth, and I liked what I seen on tape, man. I don't think he's the piece right now, but he's going to be a complimentary piece for the Detroit Lions. I think he fits what we do here well, and I think he'll be able to start playing a lot better once he gets back in, knocks the rust off, gets up to speed. I think you might see some productive snaps out of him. Hell of a lot more productive snaps than we ever seen out of a Josh Paschal. Josh Paschal. Can't stand the guy. Josh who? Exactly. Well, boys, we're going to probably pack this in a little bit shorter today. We're going to run a little bit short, but again, I've been kind of gassed, and we were just kind of limping through the day, not going to lie. We weren't as high energy as we normally are. But you guys still tuned in. We made it a good show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in, telling a friend. Today we talked about a little preview of the the Bengals Steelers matchup tonight on Thursday Night Football. Nothing really doing it for me. Not a game I'm really circling that I'm like, yeah, I want to watch this. So, maybe we'll kick it over a couple of times, kick over to Prime, see what's going on. I don't know. Hopefully, personally, yeah, I'm rooting for old Smokin' Joe to take it to Aaron Diddly-Doo Rodgers on Thursday Night Football. We touched on, and hopefully one of the last times we talk about Brian Branch. His suspension and fine was upheld by the NFL Appeals Office. No surprise there, especially when you see the guy who heard his appeal is a longtime Packer and wide receiver, Jordy Nelson. Definitely no bias-y there. No bias-y at all. No bias at all. So what the Lions are going to do is they're going to go ahead and they went out and they signed defensive back Jammie Robinson to the active roster. And we also signed Kendall Fuller to the practice squad, but nobody wants to talk about this massive veteran signing. Nobody wants to talk about this massive veteran Kendall Fuller signing. I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. This is a huge, sneaky signing, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. And then we did a little bit of a thought exercise, looked at a draft prospect in L.T. Overton, the big defensive lineman for the Alabama Crimson Tide, who kind of fits what the Lions do. Also, he's a bigger guy with a little bit of versatility to him. And, of course, the big telltale sign that Brad Holmes is going to be looking at him. Well, he plays at Alabama. We know that Brad Holmes loves his Alabama guys. There you see him, 6'5", 278. So far this year, he's got 10 solo tackles and 3 sacks. That's not bad. 10 solo tackles and 10 assisted tackles. So he's moving around pretty good. I'd like to see him in his underwear at the Underwear Olympics here come draft time. See what kind of see what kind of pop he's got. You know what I mean? But other than that, I think that's going to do it for today, boys and girls. It's been a good, entertaining show. My mom says, One Pride. Have a great day, everyone. One Pride worldwide. Brent DeWitt, you as well, my guy. Happy birthday, Carrie. Hopefully you have a good rest of your birthday, my dude. One Heartbeat, One Pride, all grit. Brandy Coffee. We love that, sister. I love that line. Go Lions. The Kendall Fuller signing made my day yesterday and is a vet that can help teach our young guys stuff as well. Mr. Detroit Sports Talk? Exactly. Everything you just said in that comment was 100% accurate. I completely agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Every single word of it. He is a vet that can help our young guys, and he is also a vet. Well, he knows what he's doing on the NFL, right? He knows how to play ball, and he's played ball at a relatively high level. So, guys, try and have yourself a good rest of the day. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you're going to put money on the game, make sure you gamble smartly. Don't go broke. This isn't a game worth throwing a lot of money at. It is a bankroll management game, best case scenario. But if you feel like taking some swings, take some swings. What do I know? I'm not going to watch your wallet, dude. I'm not going to pocket watch, but thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We will see you guys tomorrow morning right back here at Hat and Beard Show at 10 a.m. here, youtube.com, Eastern Standard Time, blah, 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 blah. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga, bonga. Frig off.